Up next, Group 3 production GT cars from 56 to 65, an era when the USA and Europe went head-to-head. Ferrari and Porsche versus Shelby and Corvette. All cars up to 5 litres. A great playing field, this, to race hard and fast, as I'm sure they'll do again today. Row 1, a perfect example. A Shelby GT350, Tom Stour and Rob Walton in a Ferrari 275. Row 2 sees Nick DeVitis in the Shelby GT350 and Jeff O'Neill, an absolutely gorgeous and priceless Ferrari 250 GTO. 60-degree V12 3-litre. Row 3 sees Mike Doyle in a Jaguar E-Type, and alongside him, Tancredi D'Amour in the Alfa Romeo. John Goodman in another Shelby Cobra 289 this time. Ransom Webster in another Porsche Abarth Carrera GTL from 61. Row 5, William Lyon in another Abarth GTL. Max Jameson in a 1957 Porsche 356, an absolutely gorgeous car. And then Ned Spieker in a Ferrari, one of just 18 in the world. Kurt Uzbey in a 1963 Shelby Cobra 289. Row 7, Steve Schmidt and Sandra McNeil, another Ferrari 250 GTO and another Porsche. Row 8, Peter Whitehead in the 64 ISO Rivolta GT and Charles Wegner in a 59 Ferrari 250 TDF. Row 9 sees Robert Bowden in an SWB 250 Ferrari, and alongside him, one of the few ladies competing, Susan Patterson in a 1962 MG MGA. And at the back, row 10, Paul Christensen in a 1956 Porsche 356A. A fantastic field, and many of these cars would have raced here at Sears Point when they were brand new. And I'm sure they'll race just as hard today in our Group 3 production GT cars as we get underway for the start of this one. The pace car comes off and we go racing. Here we go. Let's see how quickly that Shelby gets up the hill. I would have thought fairly quickly. Away we go then for our Group 3 race. Second race of the weekend, and away goes the GT Shelby. 66 being chased hard by the Ferrari, the 1965 275 GTB Special. Nick DeVitis in the number 40, just behind in third position in another Shelby. Just popping through shot, Ransom Webster in the 1961 Porsche Abarth. I really like that car, and I like this one too. There's nice Porsches in the middle of this thing. Following Ransom Webster down in 8th position. And I was wondering if Sandra McNeil would get out there, and she is. In the 11A. So we've got a race on our hands already. The Shelby out front, being chased hard by the Ferrari. And Rob Walton at the wheel in second place on that 275 GTB. And he's holding pace with the Shelby for sure. And why not? And up the inside he'll come and he'll look for the overtake, but he has. Look at him. Nicely done. Into the lead goes the Ferrari. And this was a story of pretty much the day, which was American muscle against Ferrari's finesse, if you will. But in this period is when the American cars started making their name on the world scene. And of course, 66 very much a footnote for how Americans did, certainly in Le Mans. They weren't very happy, Ferrari. Oh, now there's a lot of stuff coming out of the back of that Shelby, and I don't know what it is. Let's hope it's not something that's going to stop him, because there was definitely fluid coming out of the rear of the car a moment ago. And that could do one of two things. It could slow him down and have mechanical problems, or it could get some grease on his wheels and cause him to spin round. Let's hope that's not the case, because that's the hardest part of all, is not realizing that There's some fluid there, and suddenly you go from having lots of grip to being on an ice rink. Right now, that's the last thing he's worried about. He's got his eyes fixated on that all-red Ferrari of Rob Walton, who takes a very wide line into he's pushing it to turn 6, but these two are going at it and pulling away, I may add. They're some 5 seconds up the road from the rest of the field now. And I was about to say, yes, Ford made the big move in there. There's definitely something coming out of the back of that car. Let's hope it's not fuel. We'll take a closer look at both of the cars as they come out of this last corner. Rob Walton, though, in the 15 Ferrari leads the way here in our 60s production cars. Now, take a look at the back of the Shelby as he heads up the hill again. That's when I first noticed it. Certainly not affecting him. He's on full throttle. Now, let's take a closer look at the back of him now. He's starting to slide around just a little. But whatever it was or is not troubling him too much. Meanwhile, Jeff O'Neill having the time of his life. Look at him go. He's up to 4th place. Just getting past the number 40 of Nick DeVitis. In fact, he's up to 3rd place now. So Jeff O'Neill is making his way in the Ferrari 250 GTO. Absolute joy to watch. V12 engine as we go back to the leaders, and he's got the lead again, has the Shelby. So I say he's got problems. He doesn't look as though he's got any problems. Shelby pushing on now. Well, it sounds great, doesn't it? And they battle on and into the last corner again. Takes a very high, wide line, and back comes the Ferrari. This is a great battle. And I think they're having a bit of fun out there. Look at this side-by-side racing between the American car and the Ferrari as they cross the line together, side-by-side, up the hill. This is what we want. Hanging on to it for sure. And these two are way up the road. And Nick DeVitis and Jeff O'Neill. And O'Neill's just crossed the line down. These guys are way gone. And he's still in 3rd place. Nick DeVitis is in 4th. And then Mike Doyle is in 5th position. Glorious sight. Michael Doyle in the Jaguar E-Type. We haven't seen much of him yet, but he's down there. It is just at the back of this group, in fact. Here we go. This is the battle for 3rd, 4th, and 5th place. There is the 99 E-Type I just mentioned. Spoke to Mike Doyle about this car, and I actually had a sit in it myself. And beautiful. Leather seats, lovely. Typical Jaguar. And proper, as they say in England. But, it looks unwieldy. It looks such a long nose. It looks as though it would be a hard drive with the wheelbase. I think the elongation at the front makes it look as though it's along the wheelbase, and it probably actually is. He was telling me it drives like a dream. It's a really good handling car. See it as an example there. Back with the 22. That's Robert Bowden in the 250 SWB. GTO Ferraris, V12 3-litre engines, Single overhead camshaft. 0 to 60 in about 6.1 seconds, gives you an idea, and a top speed of about 158 if you're playing your trump cards. But I bet fully tuned, it probably got up to down some of the bigger Monza and Hockenheims, probably up to 160, and again, if not more. And back to the leaders, they're still going at it, and this has been a cracking race here in our Group 3 coverage for production cars from the 60s, the early 50s, or the late 50s and early 60s. These two have swapped paint and swapped position for the last few laps. And yes, I think he's struggling now to stay with the Ferrari. All in the hand movements. Look at how he's working the car, just going from oversteer to understeer and trying to just keep it all in one direction. No mean feat, may I add, and it is the way to watch just how good these drivers are, is just to watch the wheel only. We always tend to kind of fixate on the outside of the car, but what you need to do is watch the hands, and then you really get an understanding of just how good they are at muscling these cars around and just basically keeping them in a smooth line. It looks smooth, but when you see the hands and how much they're moving, then you really understand that there's a lot of input there. Deft input, slight input. That's what they say when they take you to the race schools. It's like a lot of input, but just minor touches to the steering wheel can make the big difference. Just changing the trajectory of the car. The same is true of the feet. Now looking a little further down, there's Sandra Neal, and that battle for 12th, 13th, 14th. Sandra actually in 13th position, and the number 19 of Steve Schmidt just behind in 14th position. It's definitely one of my favourite cars out there. Charles Wagner, and there he is in the number 11 59 250 GT. Sandra McNeil, a nice smooth line around there, but being chased hard by Schmidt. In that 1958 Porsche 356. Beautiful car. Rob Walton and Camillo Stour at the front have pulled up some 30 seconds ahead of Jeffrey O'Neill. Jeff in third place still in his own little battle with Nick DeVitas and Michael Doyle, where we're watching this great little tussle between Sandra McNeil and Steve Schmidt in the Ferrari and the Porsche. '62 Ferrari against that 1958 Porsche. Crosses on the headlights just to protect them from any damage. He's got the adjustable rear flap there. Now, is he going to make an overtake? No, I don't think he's going to get close enough here. The Ferrari just pulls away under the grunt. Into turn 7 and back out onto the rear part of the Sonoma Raceway. The sun's starting to come out here finally here in Sonoma. And hopefully we'll get a good clean afternoon of sunshine and good fun racing. Here's another battle. car number 22. That's Robert Bowden in another one of the Ferraris. 250 SWB. Bowden currently in 15th position, chased by Pete Whitehead in the ISO Rivolta GT64. And just a reminder, as Robert Bowden marches on in the number 22, just a reminder that we've got some exhibition laps coming up from the Formula One. That's at about 11:25 local time. And of course, coming up next, the Masters Historic Formula One for 3-litre Formula One cars. And I know Katie's been talking to some of the drivers, so we'll hear from some of them in a while before they head out, or at least during the race. As part of this festival, we want to talk to the drivers and get an idea of what they're dealing with while they're out there. Blue flags waving, and look at this. Here come the leaders again, and this battle continues. Here comes the leader. He's in the middle of the sandwich, the number 15. That's Rob Walton. And they've caught up with some back markers. The Shelby's still right with him. And as you saw, the marshal's doing a good job of letting Sandra McNeil know that they were coming through. And this race for the win continues. It's been an all-out battle. The Shelby led early on, right from the start, in the run-up to the hill, but the more nimble Ferrari has done a really good job of both using the traffic and using his time to perhaps negate the grunt of the Shelby. And oh, big mistake out of the right-hander there. Loses out and just has to catch himself, and therefore losing the lead again to Camilo Stour. But I think he's certainly got time to build again, and still cars in front. So, back goes the Shelby. And we're talking quite different in terms of 0 to 100 kilometers in 5.4 seconds. 0 to 200 kilometers, that is, in 23 seconds. And a quarter mile time of 13.7. Of course, Americans always measure it in the quarter mile. That's the production version, these stats we're talking about. So a very, very powerful motor car. As Camilo Stour now takes the lead, and this is where he's powerful. He's up the hill using all the grunt, but the Ferrari's pretty nimble. Another car in front, and Jeffrey O'Neill still third place. But I don't think he's going to try to do any more than just take the podium. As I mentioned earlier, these are cars that effectively became the backbone to the SCCA events. In 1953, a single championship was awarded with points based on finishing position with each class. And then we had different classes from there on in, and you had a champion in each class. And that, I think, also encouraged people to feel that they could race different displacements, different types of cars, and still be a winner in their own class. Of course, that's continued long into sports car heritage. Back with the number 11. They've had a good little battle, these two. Sandra McNeil leading Steve Schmidt in the 19 Porsche. The size of the wheel, you can see that's one of the unwieldy parts, or something that people need to get used to. It's Charles Wagner in the number 11. It's the size of the wheel itself. Race wheels of modern day racing so much smaller. So just the sheer size of the wheel themselves was not a problem, but certainly getting some used to. closing stages of this one. And back to the leaders, and this is going to be a cracking finish as the Shelby all over the road at the moment. And Rob Walton pushing hard, and look at this, side by side again, and he's just using the grunt to get him back into the lead. But now last time out, the Ferrari almost went sideways there, but he's got it much more tucked in now and much more tight. And now they're having to deal with more traffic. 74 of Ned Spieker, no, that's 71 of Max Jameson. Just passing through, passing past. And they've now got some clear space to go and do a bit more racing. Coming into the last corner, nice tight line by Stout. But an even tighter line by the Ferrari. These two will not give it up, I love it. Out of the last corner they come, drifting the Shelby. And this will be the last lap now. And this has been a cracking race. I had a feeling that today's racing would be just a little closer, a little tighter than yesterday's, just simply because everybody's more dialed into the track, everybody's more used to how to race this track. Not an easy track to race, but once they're all dialed in, we're really seeing a really good spectacle of racing here. And this is a race that's battled on all the way through. Camilla Stour and Rob Walton here. American Shelby up against the Ferrari. I love it. Now, can Rob make one more attempt in the 65? Not close enough just yet. He's going to have some pretty good corners here in the next few corners if he's going to get close enough. Now, this is where he's got to be good. He's got to exit the next corner well, has the Ferrari, if he's going to have any chance of overtaking Shelby. And he's got to get this pinpoint too. No room for error here. You see he gets very close indeed, but is it close enough? He's going to get on the power now, and yeah, a little too much there. But this is his chance, and he knows it. Shelby starting to weave from side to side and get out of shape. There is one car in front of him. I don't think he'll be a problem. The Ferrari getting good grunt now down the hill. Last chance hotel then between these two great racers. And the Ferrari's going to make one look up the inside. He covers it off. And maybe the advantage is having that Porsche on the outside, because through they go. There's not a lot of room for anything else. The Ferrari turns it very tight. It's going to be a neck-and-neck run. Here we go to finish our Group 3 race side by side, and the Shelby's just about going to take it. What a race!
And confirmation of the result then. What a race. Tommy Stour in the Shelby GT350, winner over Rob Walton in the Ferrari 275, and Jeff O'Neill taking that beautiful 250 GTO to third place overall.
Now here's the closing stages. Oh, and around he goes. No! Just about misses out on being hit, but that was a bit of a moment. Everybody trying. And that was Tragedi d'Amore, and that was a big moment in the last corner. Luckily, everybody avoids him, and he avoids going completely round, thankfully. And out comes the checkered flag. You wouldn't want to be a museum curator looking after these cars, saying, and tuning in now and seeing your cars race like this. But hey, they wouldn't have it any other way. These owners of these beautiful cars, they were designed to race. So, have a look at the highlights then. The Shelby took the impetus early on, chased hard by Rob Walton in the Ferrari, and these two would then pull away from the chasing group and have their own battle throughout the race. Ferrari always taking a very tight line through 11, and in this case taking the lead. And back would come the Shelby, and look at that, getting sideways here and there. Lots of grunt. Battles throughout, Porsche and Ferrari. And the odd Cobra
in the mix. And in the end, that was one of the telling moments. A bit of a mistake by the number 15, Rob Walton. But look how close that was at the end. Wonderful stuff to round out our Group 3 coverage.